Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the latest, newest show to come to IntellectualRadio.com. I am your host, Dana Michelle, and welcome to Dana Being Dana. It's our first show, and I'm very excited with my guests that I have here tonight. To my left is Minister Kelly Seeley, who is a great friend of mine. We go way back, way back. Next to her is Gabby Smith, hey Gabby.
Hey, Dana Michelle.
Gabby is the host of the Gift of Gab show. Next to her is Inyatu Marvel, who is the co-host of the He Said, She Said show here on Intellectual Radio. And next to him is the lovely Wanda B., the host of He Said, She Said. Thank you so much for welcoming me to the Intellectual Radio family. It's so good to be here. Thank you to our sponsors, Team Chicago and My Chocolate Soul tonight. We're here in the studio, so we appreciate you all as well. To start off the show, I really wanted to talk about how I got here in the first place. It's an interesting story, and this project of being on the radio, having my own show, Dana Being Dana, is something that's been in the works for a long time. And so I really want to take this first opportunity to share with you kind of my history, my path, my story, and how I got to being here on the show. And so for those of you who know me out there listening, and I know my mom was watching, I am a people person. I make friends wherever I go. I'm friends with my hairdresser. I'm friends with the lady that does my nails. I'm friends with everybody. And I am attracted to the human connection, human interaction, networking, social, friends, etc. And that's just something that's been in my spirit, that has been important to me. I love children, I love adults, just interacting with people in general. And that's something that has always been a part of me. And so I've been through a lot in recent years. My dad passed 6 years ago, suddenly. He had a heart attack, and that was tough. And shortly thereafter, I got divorced. And that was a tough time for me as well. And during all of that, it was a very dark phase for me. And I was wondering, why am I in the midst of this storm? And that's one reason why Kelly came into the picture. As my sister, my girlfriend, my friend. Kelly and I went to college together. We went to Spelman College. And we've always been close. And it's in your valley that you learn so many things about your character and who you are. And Kelly was there for me during that time, in that storm, in that valley. And I learned a lot about myself and just kind of where I was at. So Kelly, you want to speak to that?
Sure, absolutely. Again, thank you, Dana, for having me here. I think we're all Team Dana. That's why we're here.
I appreciate y'all.
Absolutely. One of the things that Dana and I discussed over and over again, it always came up in our conversations, where there's always a purpose in your pain. Yes. And you hear it said so much. You hear ministers say it, you hear pastors say it. It's a nice little cliche. But I think what people often fail to do is take a deeper look at what that means. And for me personally, and the journey that we share together, part of that is coming to the realization that pain has three purposes. Pain is universal, pain is blinding, and pain pushes. So when pain is universal, I'm saying that everybody knows what it feels to lose. Whether you're losing a person, a loved one, whether you're trapped in a situation and you're trying to figure out just how to really go through the hurt, the pain, the disappointment. You know what that's like. So when you say you're a people person, that means you can connect to all those different pieces of humanity. Pain is blinding. You said you were in a dark space. We all know that there's a wilderness in the valley. When you're in that dark space, you can't see it. And when pain is so heavy, there's no way you can see that there really is truly a light at the end of the tunnel. And as my mom would always say, baby girl, just hang in there. Yep. You're going to get through it. Right. You're going to get to the other side. And then the last part is that pain pushes. Pain pushes us to realize who we really are, and that is that we are weak as human beings. And our flesh can only do so much. But when we, as Christians, if you say that's who you are and what you believe, it pushes you to say, God, I can't do that. I can't fix it. Right? So either you fix it for me, or I'm just going to continue to be in this. So I think that that's part of the journey, and that's part of the uniqueness in your story, is that you would have never gotten to your aha until you got through all of it.
Right. No, that's absolutely right. And it's interesting because one of the things that I found in the valley was the ability to laugh and live. And I've had, ironically, so much fun. And I know that's not fun, but so much fun just in the valley. I learned to appreciate the small things. It's where I developed my tribe. And those are the people who show up for you. Those are the people who are down for you. I expanded my village. I embraced where I was and the fact that I needed more support for me and my children. I was going through divorce. I had 2 small kids, and my dad had recently passed. So I was just going through a lot. And around the same time, one of my good friends from high school era, Gabby Smith, was launching her career in the podcast media entertainment space. And she had asked me to discuss and talk about my divorce. We did a show. It was the first show that I ever did, and we talked about my divorce. So do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Dana, Michelle, I'm so happy to be here. It is truly a pleasure because, as you mentioned, you have been through a lot, but you've laughed through it, you cried through it, and you are here now. Yes. So I could not be more proud.
Thank you.
And thank you. Well, yes, I'll just give you a brief overview. A couple years ago, I was asked to be on WGN Radio Chicago, and I was just on the radio talking about Chicago restaurants, just very basic. And I enjoyed it. I enjoyed being on the radio, just giving out knowledge to the audience, and I wanted to do something on my own. I wanted to create a lifestyle podcast and web series where I could really just share information with the audience. And one of the first topics I thought about was divorce. Now, everybody knows somebody that's been through divorce. I mean, it happens, right? I think 50% of marriages end in divorce, unfortunately. But one person that I know that has been through it, but came out as a survivor on the end, is Michelle. And I really, really liked her story because not only were we able to talk through it in the podcast, we were able to laugh through it. And we had some fun times in that podcast. And if you have not checked it out, you have got to listen to that podcast. And I will repost it on my social media sites. But basically, in that podcast, Dana talked literally beginning, middle, and end. Yeah. You know, how it all started, what she went through, how she felt, and then how she came out at the end, how she had a divorce party when it was all over, and how we just we turned up, didn't we, girl? We were all about it. We were like, oh, we partied for a divorce, but it was a fun celebration because she survived. And again, she's not the type that's going to just sit there and wallow and shoot. You know, you're not going to do that, right? You're going to really get out there and just turn that chapter and really become a true survivor and become stronger. And that's what I really admire most about it, because as much as you were going through, you survived. And I believe in my story, my podcast, my web series, is that everybody has a story. And that's why I like doing the show, is that everybody has something to share. Whether you want to share it or not, you got a story. And Dana's story is so powerful. And I like the fact that you were so honest in that show. And I could not be prouder to be here with you today supporting your own show.
Thank you. Thank you, Gabby. I agree. And I think that there is such therapy in transparency. I think transparency is so therapeutic. And the feedback that I got from that show was so positive. So in sharing my own story, there was healing. But what touched me more than anything was the ability to touch others. I was so surprised at the number of people who reached out after that who were talking about how much they appreciated what I had to say. There were people who were in marriages where husbands were like, I'm gonna start shoveling stuff.
No, you gotta.
I'm gonna start getting information because Dana's over here making divorce look good, honey. And we can't have that.
And she does look good, y'all.
She looks fabulous.
In this blue dress.
I'm gonna wear this blue dress every week.
You look hot, Dana. You wear that dress.
This is a divorce dress, honey. This is TV. This is live radio.
I love it. It's not radio. It's just TV.
That's your survivor dress.
A survivor dress, okay? But in all seriousness, I mean, I had people who were in tears talking about, I wish my friend who got divorced could have heard your show because it's a message of survival. And I don't think divorce is for everybody. And we'll talk about the upcoming shows. One of the upcoming shows, the next show actually is about divorce. And I just think that if you choose to move on, then it's such a new lease on life. It's a new chapter for you, which can be fantastic. It's you are grieving the loss of what your dream was, but you're moving forward. And that's what I have done. And I just hope to help and inspire others. So that's what touched me more than anything, was the ability to inspire others, entertain other people, and just move forward. And so I was excited. And Gabby and I did several shows together, which was a ton of fun. And so I kind of got the bug. I was interested in what platform made the most sense for me. What could I do outside of my day job that would help to inspire, influence, and just help other people. And so my good friend Josh with Scene Chicago reached out to me last year and said, "Hey, you've got a great personality. You're funny. We could have a really good time. Would you be interested in writing for Scene Chicago magazine?" Scene Chicago is an online magazine that covers everything from fashion to what's happening in Chicago. They are really on the scene. And I said, "Well, what do you want me to write about?" He said, "You can write about anything. Write about what you feel like." He said, "You could write about me." But he said, "No, seriously." He said, you could write about anything." He said, "You could call it just Dana being Dana." And I said, "Okay." So that's exactly what I started to do at the beginning of this year. And I started writing, and that's how the column Dana Being Dana got started originally with Scene Chicago magazine. And it's been a ton of fun. I write about all different things that are important to me, things that I have experienced in my valley, showing up for people, not taking your health for granted, developing your tribe, developing the people who support you. If you don't have it organically, then you build it strategically. Go out and find the people that you need to support you and help you to be your best you. And shouts out to my tribe, because I couldn't do any of the stuff that I do. People ask me, "How do you do all the stuff you do?" I couldn't do anything that I do without my tribe. At the helm of that is my mama. I hope she was able to download this. And of course, God, the Most High. I just appreciate everybody who's had my back, because I feel like I've had so much support. Thank you to everybody who supported me with this show. And I was thinking about with Scene Chicago and the work that I had done with Gabby, what would my next platform be? Where does this go? What can I do with Dana Being Dana? And so I reached out to my friend Inyatu, who had media mogul, radio personality, baller general. That's just his profile. Friend him, ladies. And we had a conversation about what he does, how he got there, and I would love for him to share his story with you all, because it's very similar to mine. And we talked about what I could do and where I could go next.
Absolutely. Well, first of all, I'm super excited to be here. I'm super excited for you. Launch of Dana Being Dana. Wow, we were just beginning to talk about this weeks ago.
Yes,
months.
That was months.
It wasn't even 2 months ago.
Yep.
Weeks ago, and now we're here drinking rosé in the back. It's a celebration. You have for your first show, you have an awesome looking panel on the show.
Are you talking about yourself?
Including me. But mostly, I was talking about all the ladies on the panel. So aesthetically, the show looks good, it sounds good. And so, ironically, I was trying to figure out some of the next days of my life. Being a senior vice president of marketing company about how it's supposed to make money and some other things. But I wanted a bigger platform. So chance I've added to he said, she said, I've always been passionate about creating dialogue between getting so the post will come up and I'll be chiming in one day.
Jokes and. California flag.
I call mine the impossible.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes.
One thing that right off. Yeah, I think that's what the power is. The power of connecting. I divorced after 20 years, so I was like, okay, I got to keep the law of attraction, and that people are drawn to work. Yeah. And so right then I knew, okay, that's a different story.
It did.
And for that, I said, okay, yes, that's what it is. So first, yeah, I mean, that system, that connection makes a difference. And for my show decision, that it started with kind of all the same things. I worked in time for 25 years in marketing, and I had a journey and talk influence, make connect them, and finding a voice. When you had a different voice, now it's time to find a new have. And so also wanting to build relationships with them that I had been in a relationship that I felt didn't know. So then I said, that's one big issue I had was learning to communicate myself as well as myself. So that was how it all started for me. It was so when they got to it, I said, oh, that's next right there. And so I'm so excited. I really am. That is. I love that show. So
yep.
I listened to your show after that. So I love it.
Thank you. Thank you.
We're excited to have you, and I'm really excited. For ostracized or disconnected from friends and this different from that area. Hey, I've been where you've been, and I'm on the other side. You can be with me. I'm excited.
That's so true. And I just, like I said, I've been so touched to be able to help. And it's fun for me. It's fun to spend time with people. And one of the things that I want to do now, Kelly and I are graduates of Spelman College. My best places you can go. but absolutely. And just, you know,
My niece just started as a freshman, so I'm going to endorse that.
Yes.
Yes.
Shout out to Spelman.
We need to get Spelman to sponsor this.
Yeah, Spelman. Well, we're going to have a homecoming show.
Right.
But it has been,
Love up in here.
no blue. But you got the blue one. I'm going to be wearing this blue dress, just so y'all know. But the sisterhood has always been a part of who I am. And I think it's so true that strong women build each other up and not tear each other. And so one of the things that I have been so appreciative of through my process is I grew up with Kelly and Gabby, and just having them in my lives this way, showing up for me. I believe that showing up is very important. Being there for somebody when they're in their valley. Not saying just, let me know if you need anything, but showing up and saying, sorry, what can I do? Not just showing up for the divorce letter, but you're showing up for how can I help and how can I be here for you in a meaningful and tangible way. That's important. You don't forget that. That's what resonates with you. And one of the things that I have been so appreciative of, and the reason why I wanted to do my very first show with the four of you here is because the four of you have been so instrumental in my beginning. Wanda and Gabby had me on their show, right? And it could have been this conflictual, competitive, like, I don't know, I'll call you, right? But it was none of that. And they just dove in and said, I like your story, I appreciate what you're doing. We've got 3 separate shows at different times, different things, different folks do. But we're all here to support each other. And so I just thank you both for being the beautiful spirits that you are, and all of the stuff that you do to help enhance just improving people. You know, I think that one thing that I've learned in my divorce with my dad, I had a new lease on life. And just your life is what you live. And I just encourage people to live your dreams, to be kind to other people, to spread love, and live your life for today. Even if, you know, so I'm always talking about how, you know, I don't think divorce is for everybody. I'm over here like poster child, like,
It looks good.
shovel your own snow. But in all seriousness, you know, I just think I'm so passionate about living your life the way that you should be living your life. So if you decide to stay married and make that marriage the best marriage that it can be, I'm looking forward to this next week. But you know, if you choose to get divorced, that's your choice, and it's going to be okay. It's a new chapter, it's a new beginning, and you should just be excited about living the life that you're living. And I'm all about living life. Another thing about me that I think I have so many different dimensions, from my upbringing to where I work, to what I do, to what I hang with my friends. And one of the things that has impressed me in my life is just the people that I'm with. And it's not hard for me to make friends. I enjoy meeting people. I enjoy being social. But I'm always so impressed with all the people that, and part of Dana being Dana is being a platform for so many of my friends and all the interesting things that they're entrepreneurs, they're business folks, they're lawyers, they're doctors, they're professionals, they're teachers. But they are just, I'm just so impressed with who they are. And one of the things that made me think that I could do my own show was the fact that when we get together, we just laugh. I keep saying that it's going to be a lot of laughter, and we just laugh at the time. And I've always said, I just wish I could just put a mic and a camera in front of us, and we're just hanging out, in the back, we're relaxing, we're doing whatever, because it's so funny and it's such a good time. And so I'm just happy to be in a place to bring that to the table, because y'all see that my friends, my people, my crew, we have a good time. We talk about some very interesting topics. It's a very lively discussion. And we're transparent. We keep it real. And we're authentic. And so I just appreciate who my friends are. I can't wait. I've had so many. I'm just overflowing with show ideas and things that I want to talk about, things that I want to share with all of you, because we're going to have a good time. So get ready. We come. So Kelly, I just want, Kelly is, I'm so proud of Kelly. And it's so funny because we go back to our mother's house. And they went to Fisk University in Nashville, Tennessee. Exactly. Shouts out to Nashville. And it's so funny because Kelly and I met in college. I was her student orientation leader. So I was the first face that Kelly saw when she came to school. I was all energetic and young and how she is pumped up. Hey, go something. And it's just so interesting. Our story shows you how you come full circle. Kelly's a minister now, and you can learn from people. And I was so busy trying to show her the way of development and welcome to the school. And now in later years, Kelly has taught me so much about who I am, my path. And I feel like, particularly being on this show and Dana being just the overwhelming support that I have. And I appreciate every share, like, post, the support for Dana being Dana. Truly. But learning so much from Kelly has been so awesome. So I thank you and I appreciate you. So I just want you to say a few words to the audience, and also to listen to the beginning of such an authentic and exciting journey.
Dana, like I'm sure all of us feel the same way. You ever watch someone child speak to project, track, speak, and run into a brick wall, and they come and you're like, yeah, that's not my fault. And that's how our journey is. And it's one of those relationships where you're just there. And it's funny how things evolve and you don't realize you have the same values, but you just check in, hey girl, just thinking about you, just want to see, go and push you, put that person here, call and check in, and go and behold they're going. Yeah. So I would definitely make a point there and say, when you get that pressure on your spirit, someone name comes into your mind, and go ahead right then and send it. Yeah. Go ahead and give them a call, shoot them an email, let me know. There have been so many times that has happened to me, and someone has had a loss that brought down. Yeah. And and you don't, but that's how friendships are. You don't have to. I didn't have to talk to you. I didn't have to talk to you. I just check in with right, to make sure things are okay. So I would say definitely relationships. God designed us to be relational. If He wanted us to be isolated, He put us all in the kind of God. And with us being relational, that means there's always okay. So you have to be able to understand how to communicate with people. You have to understand how you may have something that I don't, but just and so whenever you have pain, it usually brings forth. And I'm in a similar situation, not from a sports standpoint, but from a career standpoint. Some of us go through career struggles and we wonder why God allows us to stay in that space. And I've personally experienced where I'm in that moment of crying, God, why? You know where I am, you know where my heart is. But when He spoke to me, He said, I haven't released you. And sometimes we have to learn how to hear that. And we don't hear that voice until we're often in that. And so when you hear that voice, and you can say, okay, I'm going to remind myself, God, give me a scripture. Oh, yes, Romans 8:28 tells me that it's all going to work. All the mess, all the drama, all the hell, all the lies, all the cheating, all the slander, it's going to work together and make me better. It's going to work together and bring forth something that's going to help me reach my destiny in a better way. It's going to provide relationships. It's going to remove the people who don't need to be in my life. And that's what has happened to you. And that's what's happened to each of us. If we all take a moment and think back to how we got to this place, it's because God allowed that circumstance to happen. Because we had to break it. That ball had to hit us. That cannonball had to hit us. Shake us up a little bit, because if it didn't, we wouldn't move forward. And then we also wouldn't move out the way, but he could do what he needed. So you have to remember too, with the relational, but all your pain has a purpose and always pushing. And I'm so proud that life is cyclical, that this life is progressive, I'm just grateful for this ability.
In the church, right?
Come back down to
In the church, right? We all in a trance, like, Lord. Right.
We're going to pass the collection plate.
Right.
Communion.
Right.
And Christ Missionary, what do you call it? Christ Missionary, First Baptist Broad, Second
Rockin'
Street.
Gibraltar.
Rockin' Gibraltar Church.
Well.
There you go.
Dana being Dana.
Dana, own it.
Blue dress.
Own it.
So when you meet Dana, you'll understand what we mean when we say Dana.
Oh, I appreciate it. I like I said, I'm always so touched by it. So it's not just me. Relationship. Common shared. Like I said, I've known Gabby and Kelly forever, but meeting and not to eating one with both being just so receptive. Because I'm sure you meet people like, I got an idea for a show. And you're like, what? I'm sure you do. I'm sure you do.
I think everything is a good idea.
Yeah. Thank you, girl.
Oh, I can do it.
Hello.
Watching this show, and you had an idea, this sweet story of how we got here is touching you. Reach out to us as well. Always talk to you. Always bless you. So God. Bless your nation.
And by the way,
One serving this. I got a new network. New people in the tribe. Absolutely. Wednesday night is Bible study.
well,
Absolutely. So this is just an amazing, it's an amazing evening. I'm just happy to be a part of it. So thank you, Dana, and I'm just glad that you owned it. You grabbed the bull by the horn, so to speak. And I'm glad it's entitled Dana Being Dana and nothing else. I think that's what it was always supposed to be. And you're more than ready. So bring all of those ideas into fruition. Bring all of those
thank you. I appreciate it.
Well, no, I was just going to say,
Yeah.
Dana, you and I obviously went to high school,
Yes.
bachelorette parties,
Yes.
divorce parties,
Yes.
all of it.
All the ups and downs. Baby
Way out.
showers, play dates.
Yes,
Everything.
all of the above. But as I mentioned before, is that you are very real and transparent. And I think sometimes when on social media, you see a lot of people have everything is pictures, but nobody necessarily explained them how to take pictures. And I think that's what's so great about our show. Our show is so authentic from the beginning, middle, and end. And then, as you mentioned, we did more shows after that. So we were able to really talk through dating and how to get out there and how to get out of your own way.
Yeah.
You know, all of that. You know, so that's what I was so cool. I think that's get sucked into social media like, dang, I'm the only one feeling pain today. Everybody else is everybody right. I'm the only one crying up here. Yeah,
Highlight reel.
but I'm over here like
Real.
And that's so true. And nothing could be more true when it comes to parents, because I always say, you never know what type of parent you are.
in the church say amen.
And again. And I always tell people that parenting is so much more than what you see on TV.
Yeah.
There is a very unsexy side to parenting. It's the late nights, it's the inconvenient times, the illnesses, it's the everything. I mean, we can go on and on with a whole other show in and of itself. But I believe in being real. And I try to be as transparent as I can. I think there's a certain with it. And I have always found that when I have been transparent, it's relatable. And there's always somebody who what you're doing. That's who's going here. And you're not in it by yourself. That's putting that encouragement. So I appreciate sharing my story. I appreciate all of you sharing your stories. I look forward to us all sharing stories together. I hear more about well, I have
Right.
show.
That's right. What's lined up? Come on now. Tell the people watching that shit tune in.
A preview of what's to come. Well, there's so many different shows, and I want to talk about so many things that I'm involved in. Professionally, I'm an attorney, and so there's a lot of things we can always talk about: legal questions, legal answers, somewhat legal advice, maybe free, maybe not. But there's always legal issues we can talk about. I think just introducing some of the businesses that my friends. I love the fact one of the beauties about our school is that we've been out of school now for years, and people are now really coming. They're developing a business, they're practicing, doing something cool, interesting, and different. And the beauty of our school is that we stay in touch. Homecoming is a big deal for us. October 21st, and we make it a point. We make it a point to be there and to show up. October 18th is going to be the homecoming show here at Intellectual Radio. So we've got that coming up. We're going to be talking about music, which is a huge part of it. I love music.
She didn't know she does sing. I'm just going to put that out there.
Well,
Just putting it out.
that's coming. So there'll be music. We'll be talking about music. I think music is such a unifier amongst people. Most recently, I went to the Bruno Mars concert this weekend, and just seeing so many different colors, ages, creeds, shades, sizes, is awesome. It's awesome. He reminds me of Stevie. He reminds me of Michael Jackson. Just the ability to print, the ability to bring people together, which I love. So I love conversations about music. We can battle for hours, even though that's not my time slot.
I like Bruno, but maybe those other people out. You almost about to get into the debate right now.
See?
Hold my earrings, somebody.
Definitely. She gonna take off that blue dress.
Michael Jackson, Stevie Wonder.
Right.
Hold my blue shoes. Hold my blue shoes.
Can you identify a narcissist and a sociopath? That's coming.
Tune in.
Hold on, you got to stay tuned. We've got a women's show, Girls Trip, just hit $1 million, $100 million, $100 million over the past weekend, and there's a legal conference that I'm going to in a couple weeks, which is in New Orleans. So I'll be bringing a bunch of lady lawyers in to talk. It's going to be a lot of fun. There is a competition between the Real Housewives of the Chicagoland area. We've got a couple areas who are interested in coming in here for their own separate shows. And I just will be sharing who I am, who my friends are, what I do, where we go, what we talk about, what we think about. So you'll be meeting a lot of my friends, maybe some family, maybe my mom wants to come in here, we don't know. But just having some serious conversations. I think being an adult is hard. Adulting is hard. Being grown is hard. Paying bills is hard. And I think the more we can just talk about it, right? I'm at an age now where my father's passed, but my mother's getting older. My grandparents are getting older. My kids are growing up. I'm trying to make strides in my own career and in who I am. And there's challenges within that. And I just love to talk about it because there's things that are hard, but there's also things that are so beautiful. And just connecting with people and being in this village together, being in this valley together at times, showing up for each other is what makes it all worth it. It makes it all possible. And so I'm just so excited about celebrating successes, and also sharing and trading war stories, because I think that makes us human. That's part of that human connection. That's what I really appreciate. And that's what I'm really looking forward to. So I hope all of you come back and you all join me in this journey. We got a lot of things to talk about. There is a lot to talk about. We're going to laugh, we're going to sing, we're going to cry, we're going to pass the collection plate. But we're going to have a good time. And, I don't promise to know everything. I'm a lawyer. They say lawyers like to talk. I don't promise to be an expert. I don't promise to have all the answers. But I am who I am. And that is just Dana being Dana. So thank you. I want to thank my sponsors who are here tonight. Team Chicago is here tonight. Thank you so much for being here, as well as my chocolate soul. Ramona, I think you're such a beautiful spirit, and I just appreciate you supporting me. Thank you, Josh, for supporting me as well. And so I just really appreciate everybody coming out. I think this has gotten off to a great start, and I can't wait to see where we go next. So thank you. I appreciate it. It's all about you tonight, babe. So go ahead and make it loud. Blessings and delivery. Champagne, I'm telling you. The whole club's rocking. Everybody's watching. Waiting to get in. Stepping on through the club tonight. But you ain't got time to waste. I can see the smile on your face. Like you're the only one in the place. It's all about you tonight. It's all about you tonight. It's all about you tonight, babe. So go ahead and do your thing.